What's up, you guys? So I want to talk about one of the most asked topics, probably definitely in the top 5 of, questions that people ask me. So today I want to talk about how you can start getting into the gym and feeling more comfortable in the gym if you've never been to a gym or you haven't been to the gym in a long time. Now, this is a hard, I think, subject to really talk about because there are so many different things you can do in the gym. You can go for bodybuilding, you can go for powerlifting, you can go for only cardio. There's so many things that you can do in the gym, but hopefully this video will give a roundabout answer to everyone that's just trying to get into the gym maybe for the first time or they haven't been in a very long time. My first tip of how to start getting into the gym is watch YouTube videos of the things that you want to do in the gym. YouTube is huge, you guys know that. There's so much stuff that's on this website, and I can guarantee you that there is gonna be some sort of video for the thing that you're trying to do in the gym, the thing that you're trying to work out. And if you don't know what it's called, type it in, type it into Google, chest exercises, right? And then a bunch will pop up, and then you can type in those chest exercises into YouTube, and I can promise you there's tons of videos of great content creators here on YouTube. There's tons of people, you guys know all the people that make videos, and they make tons of great videos that are gonna give you the tips that you need to go into the gym. I mean, I've made a couple videos, lat pull downs, and I've made a couple videos of different exercises, so I can almost guarantee that any exercise that you are going to want to do in the gym will be here on YouTube, and there will be great information, free information that you don't have to pay for. So that's gonna be my first tip, and I honestly think it is the biggest tip because YouTube is huge and there's so much information, so don't forget that. You're on this website that has so much, it blows my mind, right? So just make sure you use YouTube as a great resource because that's what it is, and it will be able to teach you some great stuff. Tip number 2 is make a plan of the workouts that you wanna do in the gym before you even get in there, because one of the hardest things to do when you're going into the gym and you don't know what you're doing is when you're kind of in the in-between phase, right? Maybe you did some dumbbell chest presses, right? And then you're like, well, now I don't know what to do. That's when you're gonna be like, that's when you're gonna feel awkward, right? You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's when you're gonna feel like people are going to be looking at you. They're gonna be maybe you think that they're making fun of you, you think that they're pointing at you or looking at you like, oh, this guy obviously doesn't know what he's doing. So go in with a plan. Know exactly what exercises you wanna do, and then for all the exercises you wanna do, at least think about a plan B because, there might be somebody on the machine that you wanted to use. So try and think of a plan B for each exercise that you're gonna be doing. Another great tip, this is not one of the 4, but another great tip is make sure you go to the gym that you're planning on working out at and maybe just scope it out a little bit. Go and do like maybe 15 minutes on some sort of cardio machine and just kind of look, scan the area, or a lot of gyms even have like online virtual tours where you can just pictures and stuff. So you can go on and click on the pictures and see what the gym has to offer you, and you can kind of make the plan of what you're going to be doing when you're going to be going into that gym. Because the reason I think that this is super helpful is because that downtime when you're kind of standing around not knowing exactly what you want to be doing, that's when you start to feel self-conscious. That's when I would start to feel self-conscious. That's when I would start to feel like people were looking at me. So that's why I think it's great to go in with a plan, and that's a super helpful tip, I think. So tip number 3 is more of a do not do. So a tip that I have is try not to go, especially if it's like your first time, try not to go during the busy hours, right? So the busy hours are usually, for any gym that I've ever been to, it's about 5 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, right? That's when everyone's getting off of work. That's when they're going to the gym. Now I understand that if you work from 9 to 5, that's gonna be the easiest time for you to go to the gym, right? I totally understand that. But if you can set aside 2 weeks, to go to the gym in the morning before you need to be at work, I think it would just be really helpful because there's not gonna be that many people there. There's not gonna be that many people staring at you. There's not gonna be that many people taking up machines that you might wanna use, that you might wanna try and figure out. So that's a super huge tip. Another thing is don't be don't get so intimidated by people, because I can promise you, at least from my own experience, if I was working out and somebody came up to me and said, hey, I can tell that I know what you're doing, right? I can tell that you know what you're doing, and I think I'm doing this right, but I would just love for you to maybe critique my form or watch me or spot me or just let me know if I'm doing anything wrong. I would be more than happy to do that. And I get that maybe there's people that might be meaner than I am, but I can almost guarantee that anyone that I've ever worked out with, anyone that I've ever talked to in the gym, if there's somebody that doesn't know what they're doing and they ask for help, I'm actually happy to help you. I want you to do the exercise right. I don't want you in there hurting yourself. So if you really need help, feel free to ask. Obviously if there's somebody that you just are super intimidated by, maybe not ask them, but ask somebody that you can tell, okay, they're fit, they might know what they're doing. Let me just get them to critique my form, or just, because you never know. Because I've done that before to people that I did not think were going to be the nicest to me, and I ended up becoming friends with them. This was at my old gym, but becoming friends with them, and we became workout partners. So it's hard. It's definitely a hard thing to do, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and trying to ask someone to help you out. But if you can do it, totally recommend it, because you might be able to get a workout partner, and that's super helpful if you don't know what you're doing and there's someone there that's willing to, you know, help you out and give you tips, and like in person, super helpful. But yeah, try not to go during the busy hours, because it is very difficult when it's just packed and you don't know what you're doing. You feel like people are looking at you. It's difficult. So try and go in the morning, or if you can go later at night, maybe go at 9 o'clock and then go to sleep right after you get out of the gym. That could help as well. It's a mental thing, really. I think going to the gym when it's super packed and you start to kind of feel like people are watching you. So if you can go a little bit earlier, do it. And tip number 4 is gonna be basically the same thing as tip number 1. Continue trying to learn and watch videos at home on YouTube, or I mean whatever video hosting site you wanna choose, but I feel like YouTube has all the information you could need. I know it's here, because that's how I learned how to do most of my workouts. That's how I learned, I would say 80% of what I've learned about lifting, about nutrition, about from when I was obese to now has been from YouTube. And then the other 20%, you know, has been from people that I've met along the way, who I'm super grateful for. But you guys, if you are struggling with wanting to go to the gym, I just want to press it home that it's such a great feeling when you start to become comfortable in the gym and you feel like it's a second home. Because for me, I gotta say that, you know, just going to the gym, because for me, for the longest time, I went to the gym and only did cardio because I was terrified. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. I was terrified to get onto the floor and do some dumbbell, you know, bench press or whatever it is, right? I couldn't imagine myself doing that. So I sat on those stairs, I sat on that bike for months, like when I first started losing weight, for months, because I was too scared to go out there and start lifting. And it's one of my biggest regrets. I really wish that I would have just went for it, you know, and not been as afraid. And that the reason that I say, you know, watch YouTube videos, because that is what I did. That's how I learned. And I really think it is a huge tip, it's just so helpful, and it's free. It doesn't cost any money. It's just up to you to sit there and watch, and make sure you're watching, you know, when the video's on and not doing other stuff, because there's so many great videos on here that I really feel they can teach you more than sometimes personal trainers can at gyms. They can teach you, it's just so much information on here. So don't forget to use this free information that you have. And then if you have more questions and stuff, maybe it will be time to get a personal trainer, you know? Maybe even just for 4 sessions. And if you do decide to get a personal trainer, make sure the whole time you're working out with them, you are asking questions nonstop, because that's what they're there for. They're there to answer all of your questions that you have. They are there to be helpful to you. So if you're leaving every session not feeling like you know more about nutrition, not feeling like you know more about training, they're not doing their job. And you need to let them know, hey, I need to know more. I don't understand this. Like, what's this? What's that? Why am I doing that? How many reps? You know, ask questions, because that's how you're gonna learn. You know, if you don't ask, you can't receive. So just ask your questions. So those are gonna be my tips on how to get into the gym if you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I really hope that this video helped you guys out. If you have any tips at all, please leave them down below. I would love the comment section just to be full of, you know, great tips for people that are kind of nervous about going into the gym. And you guys, if you're worried about going to the gym, don't be worried. Get in there. It's such a great experience, and I really think that you will really enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.